If you're a young person and you are planning to migrate or relocate illegally, hold on. I have a better option for you. Now, when it comes to relocation, I always tell people to migrate or go through the right process. Now, some of us are fond of like seeing some of these advertisements online and then buy into it, whilst not doing our research into what goes into this and whether it's actually legit or not. And we oftentimes end up spending a lot of money, and then it leads to like a lot of issues like depression, like a whole lot of bad things happen to people when they go through this. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about some exciting opportunities available for young Ghanaians, and I think some Africans, probably if you're lucky. So let's get right into it. When it comes to relocation, the best thing to do is to first know the reason why you want to relocate, and then figure out what your options are, and then finding the best route to migrate. Now, I know for majority of young people love to relocate or migrate using the school route, which is of course one of the easiest ways to actually migrate. Now, I had the opportunity to come across this special opportunity reserved for young people who are into vocational handcrafts system of education, or people who are into TVET, for short TVET programs. So TVET for short, meaning people who are into plumbing, welding, carpentry, electricians, roofers, carpenters, people who are really into some of these professions. Now we realize that when it comes to my country, for example Ghana, people who are into this kind of trade, or people who are into handcrafts, are not really regarded as compared to like white colored jobs. Now this we can see from, I kind of think this is like more of like a generational issue, because we all grew up in African home settings where our parents prefer young people prefer their children to become either doctors or lawyers, or generally white collar jobs we kind of term as like jobs in quotes. And so we've often discarded people who had handcrafts or like who had skills, and then we put them aside. Now you realize that when you go into the Western world, people who have like skills are most desired. Why is this so? Oftentimes in most developed countries like Germany, USA, Canada, you realize that Africa has a very youthful population, whereas countries in the West have more of like an aged population. So there's more of like a deficit in like young people living in the country. So what this basically translates to is government is not able to generate enough taxes to cater for the aged. Now because the aged are already in pension, they've already passed the working ages, so they are not working, they need to be taken care of. Now how does the government generate money to actually continue to take care of these aged people? They need to do that through taxes. Taxes from young people, younger population who are actually working or earning a living in the country. So there's this imbalance. When you come to Africa, we have a very youthful population, we're highly skilled, highly educated. However, there are not opportunities or jobs available to to get these youth people to work. So we realize that a lot of the young people are trying to find means and ways to leave their country to find greener pastures in the Western world. So USA, Canada, United Kingdom, and other places. I've gotten a lot of like African youth traveling in the last couple of years, to find better working conditions. As a result of this, there's been a lot of pressure on young people to, like hurry up after school, find something doing quickly, and then relocate, or like just go and find work elsewhere. And oftentimes people fall victim to these online scams, and they end up like getting all their years worth of savings like taken off. And so this brings me to this opportunity. if you are someone between the ages of 18 to 35 or 30, let's say 18 to 30 years, and you find yourself within the vocational, vocational industry, vocational handcraft industry, there's an opportunity for you. And this is a project called the AHK Apprenticeship Dual Vocational project, or Dual Vocational Training Project. And this is offered by German companies who are into the TVET industry. So German companies who are into roofing, electronics, electricity, solar power generation, plumbing, welding. Generally, German companies who are really into the skilled occupation. Yes, you realize that back then in Ghana, I think a few years back, Canada had a lot of people from Ghana applying, to go and work. There are the different countries have so many routes to actually, migrate to. Some go through skilled labor, students. There are so many ways, but one of the easiest ways to actually migrate to a country the right way legally is to go as a skilled professional. That is no doubt you're able to get a job. So what this AHK Dual Vocational Training Program offers is the German companies every year, German companies who are short-staffed or looking to, have more young people, within this TVET program, these German companies reach out to, Ghanaian youth who are into the TVET, system. Okay, so basically they extend their hand and invite young people to come to Germany to live, study, and work. Now, this is done systematically, and it's not just automatically. They pick you from Ghana and then you come into Germany to study. This is what is called the Dual Vocational Training, program. So it's in two ways. We have the apprenticeship side and then the internship side. So when it comes to the apprenticeship side, we have people who are already skilled within like carpentry or plumbing. So they're basically going to give you an invite, to come over to Germany to learn the way the company or Germans do their work. So more of like they're giving the opportunity to actually increase or enhance your skills with regards to the particular skill that you've already garnered over the years in your country. So let's say Kofi is an 18-year-old plumbing technician in Ghana. A German company might reach out, through the Delegation of German Industries and Commerce in Ghana. They are the sole, partner connecting German companies to Ghanaian businesses and opportunities or entrepreneurs in Ghana. So they're the ones responsible for selecting these young Ghanaians, to partner with these German companies. So let's say Kofi is 18 years, he's a plumbing technician. These German companies every year send out a list of vacancies. So if you're selected, you first have to learn the German language. At least it's a requirement to learn the German language. You have to learn German language and get to at least level B1. After your German language is done, the company kind of facilitates your visa documents and everything that you need to travel to Germany. So you enter Germany for, I think, the first 3 years you work in the company, and then you learn the skills, you upgrade your skills. If there are some skills you have to unlearn, they give you the opportunity to actually unlearn those skills. So that is the apprenticeship program. I had the opportunity to visit Germany to visit these young Ghanaian apprentices and interns who traveled some few years back to Germany and were paired with companies to see how this dual vocational apprenticeship program is done, and just to experience from my perspective. And I can say beyond reasonable doubt that it is a great program. And I spoke to a few of them, and the feedback was great. They're well catered for. Now, the good thing about this is the moment you are paid with a company and your documents are like prepped and all that, the transition is very easy. So the moment you arrive in Germany, that work doesn't really start. They give you like a period of time to transition into the system, because German's system is way different from the way we do things in Ghana. Okay, so they give you an opportunity to actually transition through the process. If you have to better your German language, better it, and then in the next couple months you start to work. So like the first few weeks of your work in the company, you get to see the way things are done. You see and then you learn, and then for the next couple of other weeks they give you the opportunity to actually start working on tasks, and then you get paid. Now this is the apprenticeship side. With the apprenticeship side, we are not starting out, we are just coming to continue with what you've learned in your country, and then you better yourself. The second part is the interns. The interns are maybe young people, young Ghanaians or young Africans who are already studying in an accredited TVET institution. And so basically the companies invite you over to Germany for a few weeks, for a few months, and then you learn. You are given you are paired with these German companies on paid internship, and so you learn for a few months, and then after the contract period is done, you come back to your country, and then if you decide to, the company still needs you, they'll work on your papers, work on your documents for you to come back, and then you're able to work, live and work. Now the good thing about this is for both apprentices and interns, you are given a period of time to live, study and work in Germany. And so during this time, whilst you are doing the practicals in the company, you also get the opportunity to also go to school. So it's in two ways, the practical side and the theoretical side. Speaking to some of the apprentices and interns, I had the impression that they go to school, the theory classes twice a week, and the rest of the week is for the practical. So whilst you are having hands-on experience, you're also having classroom experience. So it's a full-blown 360 program. And I think if you are deciding to migrate, especially if you're a young person, I think this is one of the best ways to actually do it instead of going through dubious means. So this is the Atubi Dual Vocational Training Program. And so basically, in short, German companies do a call out every year. In fact, for very small numbers, I think from 10 to 20, depending on what the figures look like for every year. And so the program started somewhere in 2023, and to date is still running. And I can tell you beyond a reasonable doubt that all the young people who have traveled to Germany through this, dual vocational training program are doing amazing. They are motivated, they are working so hard, they are showcasing their skills, and the companies have given good feedback about them. So if you decide to find ways to migrate, especially if you are within the TVET space, this is something you should look out for. Make sure to follow the Delegation of German Industries and Commerce in Ghana on LinkedIn, because that is where they post most of these opportunities. So check them out. I'm going to leave a description below. Click the link, check them out, and stay up to date. They might post something soon. They post a lot of opportunities, from German companies. So if you are looking forward to, maybe Germany has been on your list for some time, and you're looking for an opportunity to actually live, study and work in Germany, this is something you should look at. And of course, when you get opportunity to go, please don't stay. I get it. The conditions in your country are not favorable and all that, but I just feel it would be good to get to Germany, get all the skills, get all the experience, and then come back to your country, set up a business, and better your nation. I think that is quite beneficial as opposed to going to Germany and then staying there to work, get married and all that. I'm just thinking out loud. If I were to be, a young apprentice, after getting all the skills, after getting all the experience, and all the good stuff, I'll prefer to come back to my country, set up a business, and start doing amazing things here. So to conclude, like I mentioned, don't relocate on the wrong means or the wrong routes. You'll be stressed, you'll be pained, you go through hell, it's going to be crazy. You have a good time, you're going to go worse. Why don't you take the time, take it slow, see the right process, see the right people, and then go through the right process. If you do this, you're going to live rent free without issues, as opposed to always trying to hide, I go through so many funny, weird ways to actually stay and work in Germany. So it doesn't help, guys. It doesn't help. If I were to relocate, I'll go through the right process. So, guys, if you have any questions with regards to living or working in Germany or relocating or migrating, drop your questions in the chat and I'll pick it up from there. So generally, if you're a young person within the DVET space and you're looking to find opportunities or live and work in Germany, there's hope for you. Look out for the Atubi program, follow AHK Ghana, check out their pages, and then stay tuned for their update. Thanks for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video. It's bye for now.